Welcome to the YouTube channel The Right Place, your cozy corner for charming DIY inspirations and whimsical decor transformations. Today, we're diving into the enchanting world of the Succulent Treehouse Fairy Garden, where creativity meets sustainability in the most delightful way. If you love magical miniatures, lush succulents, and repurposing forgotten items into captivating works of art, you're absolutely in the right place. Our focus today is all about creative upcycled decor ideas that bring to life a treehouse fairy garden filled with succulents. Whether you're working with scraps of wood, vintage teacups, or cracked pottery, we'll show you how to repurpose everyday items into a mystical garden that looks like it's straight from a fairy tale. Stick around for imaginative ideas that will make your inner child smile. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss out on our magical DIY journeys. Join a growing community of dreamers and creators who transform ordinary spaces into extraordinary escapes. Ready to turn your backyard or balcony into a storybook sanctuary? Let's get started. One, choosing the right base for your treehouse garden. When starting your Succulent Treehouse Fairy Garden, the first and most important step is selecting a solid and imaginative base. Think outside the planter box. An old wooden ladder, a salvage drawer, or even a hollowed-out tree stump can serve as the foundation for your enchanted mini world. These upcycled options not only save materials from the landfill, but also add rustic charm to your fairy garden. The beauty of using upcycled materials is that they tell a story. A broken birdhouse can become a mystical treehouse, while a wooden crate may be the perfect backdrop for layered succulents. The imperfections and textures of these pieces enhance the visual storytelling of your garden, creating a sense of history and wonder that brand new items just can't match. Remember, stability matters. You want your base to be sturdy enough to support plants and decorations, but still light enough to move if needed. Old kickstands, broken stools, or thick bark slabs work beautifully. Just be sure to drill a few drainage holes if you're working with non-porous materials to keep those succulents thriving. Two, creating the treehouse structure. Building the treehouse itself is where the magic begins. Use reclaimed wood pieces, popsicle sticks, or old Jenga blocks to craft miniature treehouses and platforms. These charming structures can be painted or left raw, depending on the look you want, and will serve as the focal point for your fairy garden. Upcycled items like corks, bottle caps, or rusty hinges make excellent miniature doors, windows, and ladders. Layering platforms or steps with small twigs adds a natural aesthetic, and threading tiny lights throughout gives it that cozy nighttime glow. Let your imagination guide you. This is a fantasy world, after all. For added dimension, consider building multi-level tree houses connected by rope bridges or tiny staircases. This brings height and structure to your succulent display and allows your fairy garden to truly mimic a living tree village. Each level can host different plants or scenes, enhancing the whimsical storytelling element. 3. Planting and arranging succulents. Succulents are perfect for fairy gardens because of their compact size and low maintenance. Select a variety of shapes, textures, and colors to add richness to your treehouse setting. Choose trailing varieties like string of pearls or burro's tail to mimic cascading vines or moss around the structures. When planting succulents in upcycled containers, make sure they have good drainage. Use a cactus mix soil blend and layer with gravel at the bottom. This keeps roots healthy and prevents rot. Succulents don't need a lot of water, but they do love sunlight, so position your fairy garden where it gets plenty of natural light. Arrange your succulents with purpose. Taller ones can go behind tree houses or serve as canopy cover, while tiny rosettes work great along pathways or in miniature pots. Use moss, colored sand, or crushed seashells as ground cover to help define different zones within your fairy world. Four, decorating with miniature fairy accessories. Now comes the fun part: decorating your fairy garden with tiny accessories that add character and story. Reuse small trinkets like earrings, buttons, or broken jewelry to craft fairy-sized decor. These little touches breathe life into your garden, turning it from a simple plant display into a magical realm. Consider crafting DIY furniture from twigs and wine corks, or sculpting fairy figurines from polymer clay. Even broken ceramic pieces can become garden tiles or walls for a fairy home. When you recycle with creativity, every discarded item becomes a treasure waiting to be rediscovered. 'Adding moving elements like pinwheels made from plastic bottle caps or a tiny swing hanging from a twig branch creates interaction and whimsy. These kinetic features delight visitors and spark the imagination. It's not just a garden, it's a fairy tale in motion. 5. Lighting and ambience. Lighting transforms your succulent fairy garden into a magical nighttime escape. Use solar-powered fairy lights, LED lights, or even old Christmas lights to cast a warm, enchanting glow over your miniature world. It turns the scene into a storybook village after sunset. 'Reuse old light fixtures or glass jars to make lanterns that illuminate paths or treehouse windows. A thrift store chandelier frame stripped down and hung with beads and lights, can become a glowing canopy above your creation. With upcycled materials, even lighting can be a work of art. Strategically placing lights under succulent leaves or behind miniature doorways adds depth and shadow play, enhancing the mystical vibe. Your fairy garden won't just look magical, it'll feel magical, inviting viewers into a tiny, glowing forest of dreams. 6. Maintaining and evolving your fairy garden. A fairy garden is never truly finished, it's always growing and changing, just like nature. Regularly prune your succulents to keep them tidy and prevent overcrowding. This also opens up space for new characters or accessories as your story unfolds. 'Refresh your decor by swapping out seasonal elements or updating broken parts with new upcycled finds. For example, autumn leaves and mini pumpkins in fall, or tiny snowflakes and pine cones for winter themes. Keep a little box of salvaged mini things ready for quick updates. 'Involve your family or community in maintaining the garden. Ask kids to design their own fairy houses or encourage neighbors to add their own recycled trinkets. This transforms your Succulent Treehouse Fairy Garden from a solo project into a shared, ever-evolving storybook. 7. Weatherproofing and outdoor durability. When building your Succulent Treehouse Fairy Garden for outdoor display, weatherproofing becomes essential. Natural materials like wood or metal can degrade quickly in rain and sun, so a few protective measures can preserve your magical creation. Use outdoor sealants or marine varnish on wood to guard against moisture and decay. For upcycled elements like fabric banners or paper signs, consider swapping them with weather-resistant options like plastic, clay, or painted stones. You can even coat miniature features in clear resin for a glossy, waterproof finish. This keeps your fairy garden resilient and beautiful throughout all 4 seasons. 'Remember that succulents also need protection from extreme weather. During heat waves or heavy storms, consider moving portable fairy gardens under a porch or shaded area. Alternatively, build your garden inside a large terrarium or repurposed glass cabinet for full outdoor viewing without exposure. 8. Indoor fairy garden ideas for small spaces. Not everyone has a backyard or garden, but that doesn't mean you can't create a miniature succulent fairy world. Indoor fairy gardens are perfect for apartments, small patios, or even windowsills. Using compact upcycled containers like teacups, lanterns, or fish bowls, you can design a magical setting with minimal space. 'Incorporate house-friendly succulents like echeveria, zebra plants, or jade. These varieties thrive in indirect light and make ideal indoor companions. A broken mug or chipped soup bowl can become a fairy tale home for a tiny fairy family with a few well-placed plants and trinkets. Think vertical. Mount old drawers or shadow boxes on the wall and fill them with small succulents and accessories. Hang tiny lights or add a mirror to create depth and dimension. Even in the smallest homes, there's always a little room for magic. 9. Storytelling through garden scenes. What truly sets a fairy garden apart is the story it tells. Beyond the beauty of the succulents and upcycled decor, each garden can become a living tale. Ask yourself, what kind of world are you creating? A forest kingdom? A seaside fairy village? Let your imagination weave a narrative that guides your design. Use miniature signs, storybooks, scrolls, or carved stones to hint at your fairy characters' lives. Maybe there's a bakery in a walnut shell, or a tiny bridge where fairies leave notes. These details invite viewers to imagine the daily life of your magical residents. You can even base your scenes on myths, favorite children's books, or create a brand new universe of your own. Changing accessories to follow the story as it unfolds adds an ongoing sense of adventure. Your fairy garden becomes more than decor, it becomes a story you grow. Ten, repurposing junk into garden art. One person's trash is truly another's treasure in a fairy garden. Take a look around your home or local thrift store for odds and ends that can be transformed into whimsical garden art. A rusty spoon can become a fairy slide, while an old key might serve as a magical gate. Broken electronics, bent utensils, or jewelry chains can all find new life in your succulent garden. For example, wire from old headphones makes perfect fairy ladders, and the back of a broken watch might become a tiny tabletop. The key is to see the potential beyond the obvious. 'Not only does repurposing junk save money, but it also brings a wonderfully quirky character to your design. Every item has a past, and now, a second life in your fairy world. It's a sustainable, creative, and joyful way to garden. 11. Incorporating water features. Adding a water feature to your Succulent Treehouse Fairy Garden elevates the magic instantly. With just a recycled dish, bottle cap, or even a broken bowl, you can create a serene fairy pond or bubbling spring. Use pebbles and moss to make it look natural and enchanted. 'Tiny solar fountains or battery-powered misters can bring gentle movement, which not only delights the eye, but also creates a calming soundscape. These mini installations don't require much space, but offer a huge impact, transforming your fairy garden into a multi-sensory experience. 'Be sure to place your water feature away from succulents roots, as these plants prefer dry conditions. Use it as a centerpiece or background accent. Even if the water doesn't flow, a little glass mirror or blue marble stream adds sparkle and dimension to the fairy landscape. 12. Seasonal themes and holiday magic. Your fairy garden can celebrate the changing seasons just like we do. Imagine tiny pumpkins, leaves, and cozy lights in the fall, or snow-dusted pine cones and gift boxes during winter. It's the perfect way to keep your garden fresh and festive all year long. Use old holiday ornaments, bits of ribbon, or cookie tins as seasonal props. Even paint tiny Easter eggs or make Valentine's hearts out of clay. Upcycled seasonal decor ensures your fairy garden feels alive and in rhythm with the world outside your window. These holiday updates don't have to be big, just a few small changes can spark joy and surprise. Your viewers, family, and neighbors will love seeing how your garden evolves through the year. It becomes an ever-changing, upcycled celebration of nature, magic, and creativity. Conclusion: keep growing your imagination. And that wraps up our journey into the Succulent Treehouse Fairy Garden, a realm where upcycling meets imagination and nature. From choosing the right base to decorating with magical flair, we've explored how even discarded items can become part of something beautiful and meaningful. If today's ideas sparked your creativity, imagine what you could build next. Whether you're a seasoned DIYer or just beginning your crafting adventure, there's always more magic waiting in your recycling bin and garden patch. Stay inspired, stay curious, and keep dreaming. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to The Right Place. Hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when we post more fairy garden magic, DIY decor, and sustainable creativity. Until next time, create with love, grow with joy, and let your garden tell a story.